What is going on, guys? Coach B here with Brutally Honest Coaching. Today we're going to be talking about flexible dieting approach, and I have some notes here on my phone, and I want to go over some bullet points with you guys to make dieting that much easier. Now, the first bullet point I want to talk about is focusing on balance and not restriction. Now, have you guys ever, been super solid on the diet, and then your wife's like, yo, let's go on a date, or you're super tired, you don't want to cook for the kids, and you guys are like, yo, let's go out to eat, and you're like, well, I can't go out to eat. But when you do go out to eat, you finally give yourself a little bit of freedom. You binge eat, you overeat, and now you don't lose the weight, and then you beat yourself up over it. Being more flexible and more balanced kind of takes that approach and throws it out the window, right? Like, if you can find the balance and you're not as restrictive, you're going to be able to lose the weight that you want to lose. Me personally, when I'm cutting weight, I like to go out to eat at least twice a week. That's what helps my mental state. That's how I've been able to get down to 7% body fat at one point. And usually when I cut weight, I usually cut weight to about 9 to 10% body fat these days. But I still make sure to go out to eat 1, 2, or 3 times a week to go on dates with my family and my girlfriend, right? And so this allows me to live a life without being restricted. But the moment that you're restrictive and you allow yourself a little bit of freedom, like 4, 5, 6 months into an aggressive diet, you're gonna blow it. You're gonna overeat, you're gonna binge eat, and you're gonna go down this negative spiral, which is gonna lead you to falling off. And so if you don't wanna do that, learn how to have balance, right? Have 3 days on, 1 day off, where you eat super clean, for 3 days, and then have a date or go out with your kids or have a fun day, after that 3 days, and reward yourself every 4th day, right? That's a good balance, right? Or be super solid, right? And use Monday through Friday where you're super locked in, you're super disciplined. Saturday, you allow yourself to eat 200 to 300 more calories, eat a little bit closer to maintenance. And then Sunday, instead of, falling off, have that day to where you have one enjoyable meal. You're still in that deficit, but you're not as strict, and use Sunday to prepare, right? So Monday through Friday, you're locked in, you're preparing Sunday, and then on Saturday, you're able to eat 200 to 400 more calories to kind of have a refeed day, right? So that you're not completely burnt out. Or 3 days super locked in, 1 day, eating 200 more calories than, your calorie goal in the deficit. You know what I mean? So that's a good balance. Like, I've noticed those balances with my clients, like my client Josh, he's down 112 pounds. Usually he likes to stay locked in, for 5 to 6 days, and then every 7th or 8th day, that's usually whenever he has a super high calories, or he travels for work too. So every weekend, whenever he has to travel, we'll go like 6 days locked in, and then on travel days, we'll have higher calories. My client Kevin, he's down around 40 pounds. He works from home, so it's a little bit different, but he works really long hours. He wakes up at like 3 a.m. He doesn't stop working until 6 or 7 p.m. Super crazy, or 5 p.m. And he's down 30 or 40 pounds. And so one strategy that works for him with his balance is, being super locked in for 4 days, and on the 5th day, he kind of eats a little bit more, and then 4 days, and then on the 5th day. Or he'll have 4 days, and then he'll have 2 days where he eats, 1 to 200 more calories. Instead of 200 calories on the 1 day, for that refeed, he'll have 100 calories this day, and then 100 calories the next day, and then he'll get super locked in, right? And so we're all in this for the long term. Like, short term, is that optimal? Maybe not. But, if that's what helps you lose weight for the next 10 years and not just the next 10 weeks, then let's go for it. You know what I mean? While utilizing this when they're locked in, we don't just eat chicken, broccoli, and rice. The second point is the 80-20 rule, right? Emphasize, eating nutrient-dense foods 80% of the day. Think whole foods, like not the restaurant. People get confused when I say whole foods. Not the restaurant, the grocery store. Whole foods are things, healthy foods. Think healthy foods, right? Chicken, broccoli, rice, potatoes, steak, just healthier foods. Like, when you think about healthy foods in your mind's eye, those are whole foods. And so eat 80% of whole foods, right? So like, if you eat 3 times a day, have two meals a day where you're eating nothing but like super healthy, and then have your 3rd day something a little bit more enjoyable, as long as it allows you to stay in that calorie deficit, okay? Or what might work a little bit better is 3 super healthy meals, and then at the end of the night, eat a snack that you really enjoy, that you're not going to binge eat on, that you're not going to overeat on, right? And so like, break it up that way. Now, another thing, which is the 3rd point, is portion control, okay? Portion control is a key, guys. A lot of people, number one, don't even know what's really on their plate. If you can learn what's on your plate and this is going to lead into the next point, which is track calories and macros with flexibility. If you can do these two things, you understand the portions that are on your plate and you understand how to track your calories and macros, you are going to get amazing results, because that's really all you need. You know, all you really need when it comes to your nutrition and being flexible is track your calories and macros, use portion control, and then allow yourself to have a refeed every 4 to 6 days. If you can do those three things, you're gonna lose weight. Now, with calories and macros, you need to understand how to track this. How to download the MyFitnessPal app, how to scan barcodes, how to know what serving sizes are, and the way to know that in the beginning is weigh your food out. You know what I mean? And so track your calories and macros and understand, is this 6 ounces of chicken on the plate, or is this 4 ounces? Is this 1 cup of rice, or is this half a cup? You need to learn these things and it can sound kind of overwhelming and complicated, but we're talking about the long term here, guys. We're not talking about just trying to crash diet and lose 20 or 30 pounds here. We're talking about losing, 20, 30, 40 pounds over the course of the next 12 weeks, 3 to 6 months, and being able to keep it off for the next 6+ years. You know what I mean? And so, like, learning these skills is what it's going to take to make that sustainable. Now, plan indulgences in advance, okay? And what I mean by this is just plan a refeed. That's all that means. Just plan a refeed. Plan your high-calorie meals and your high-calorie days and keep it consistent on the same day every single week. Now, the point after that is to incorporate healthier versions of family favorites, meaning, small swaps, right? So, like, one thing that I really enjoy that my family cooks is steak, right? Now, I like a super fatty steak. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you have an 8-ounce steak, that thing can be anywhere from 600 to 900 calories if you get the fatty steak, right? So what I do is, in a way to kind of switch this up and incorporate, a healthier, lower calorie option whenever I go over there when they cook steak, is I'll get the leanest cut steak that I can, and it ends up only being like 400 calories. It literally cuts the calories in half. So I can eat the same portion size to get the same filling and, feeling full, but I'm also able to enjoy time with friends and family and be full without eating 1,000 calories in a steak. Now, when I'm bulking like I am right now, I'm gonna go for the fattiest steak. But if you're trying to lose weight, go for leaner cuts of meat, right? Instead of going to eat McDonald's, cook a burger at home. Like, guys, I'm telling you, one of my favorite meals right now currently is taking 93.7 ground beef, so super lean ground beef, making little patties, throwing it into the air fryer for 5 minutes. I flip it, throw seasonings on it, put it, another 5 minutes at 375 degrees, and I make my own burgers from home in 10 minutes. And I can make 3 burgers in 10 minutes using the air fryer, and it tastes better than any McDonald's. So figure out healthier options for the foods that you genuinely enjoy eating with your family, okay? This can be leaner cut meats. This can be, better seasonings to make it taste better. This can be just little changes like that can go a long way, especially when it goes, to losing body fat and like saving as many calories as possible. If you like sweet tea, drink unsweetened tea. If you like soda, drink diet soda, right? Like little small changes that are going to save you calories, right? If you like Red Bull, drink a 0-calorie Monster, right? Anything that can save you calories that is not going to take, all the enjoyment away. There is going to be a little bit of discipline and a little bit of, adjustments. But anything that can make this a little bit more enjoyable is going to be key for you guys, okay? Now, mindful eating during these indulgences, okay? I had my client a while ago. His name was Joseph. Now, Joseph, he wasn't allowed to do refeeds, and I'm going to tell you why. Because he was never mindful with his indulgences. Now, nowadays, this was 2 years ago. Nowadays, I'm a better coach. I've actually learned how to teach, my clients and you guys how to be more disciplined. But when I first started coaching, so this had to have been 3 years ago because I was about a year into coaching. When my first year of coaching, I was kind of figuring it out. And Joseph didn't know anything about, how to be mindful with his indulgences. I'd be like, yo, okay, you can go out to eat. You need to go to Five Guys, have like 2,000 calorie meal. And he was like, I'm not losing weight. But now, I am able to coach to where I can teach you guys how not to struggle like that, okay? So being mindful, okay? What Joseph was doing is he would get the foods, he'd be like, oh, I've been in deficit, I've been dieting, oh my gosh. And he'd start eating everything, right? You guys don't need to be doing that. What you guys need to be focusing on, what you guys need to be doing is, if you go to Five Guys, by the way, those burgers are about 800 to 900 calories, so I don't recommend it. But let's say you go to Five Guys, or you go to McDonald's, or you go something like that. Number one, order a smaller option, okay? Instead of getting a double cheeseburger at Five Guys, you get a hamburger with one patty, because that literally saves you like freaking 300 to 400 calories off that cheat meal. And just get one side of fries and only eat the fries in the cups, not the fries in the bag. If you know what Five Guys is, you know what I'm talking about. And make that your limit. Slow down when you're eating. A lot of people, when they have a cheat meal, you know, because they've been in a deficit, they've been eating, you know, so boring for so long, they literally they eat everything. I'm guilty of it when I'm cutting weight. Like, until I get past that adjustment period, it's like a struggle, okay? Like, guys, I eat 3,000 to 4,000 calories a day when I'm bulking. And I have to eat 1,400 to 1,600 calories a day when I'm cutting. So trust me, just like it's a struggle for you guys, it is a struggle for me to adjust as well. So you guys need to understand, sitting down, slowing down. You know, if I'm out on a date with my girlfriend, if I'm bulking, bro, I'm eating as fast as possible, and I'm trying to get all the calories. But like, if I'm cutting weight, like, I'll just talk to her, like, while she's eating, because she's a little bit slower than me. I'll just talk to her, and we'll just have a conversation. And as I'm talking, I'm like snacking a little bit here, taking a bite here and there. And what I'm really doing is I'm like distracting myself and allowing myself to eat enough to where, you know, eating the foods I'm eating, it gives my body time to like tell my brain like, okay, we're full. The problem is a lot of people don't do that. The problem is a lot of people will eat so quick, and this is where a lot of people binge eat. And that's why, like, after you binge eat, you're like, oh, my stomach, like, you feel horrible. It's because your body is like notified after it's already too late, after you're already so full that like, yo, this is horrible. This sucks, right? So you guys need to understand, like, whenever you are eating, you need to slow down. You need to savor the moment, because it's going to be another 3, 4, 5, or 6 days before you're going to get to taste this amazing food anyway, because you're on your refeed day. Enjoy and savor the calories and the taste, okay? Now, the final thing is avoid labeling foods as good and bad. I just told you guys, I go out to eat Buffalo Wild Wings, I go out to eat Wendy's, I eat normal people food. Just because I'm shredded and have a six-pack, I look very like skinny and slim and black, but I'm pretty jacked for, you know, especially for my height. I'm short, right? You know, I hit elite strength standards, like I freaking keep a six-pack year round. But with that being said, I still eat like a normal person using the strategies that I just gave you guys, because I don't look at, you know, this cheeseburger as good or bad. Is, you know, the healthier cheeseburger better for your goals and better for fueling your body? It's better, but these calories are also going to help you, you know, fuel your training, just not as efficiently. And so don't avoid foods. Don't like label them good or bad or this, that, and the third, because that's just going to create an eating disorder, a binge eating disorder. You know, look at calories in versus calories out. Everything is a calorie. Some calories are better than others. Some calories aren't as efficient as others. But at the end of the day, it's a calorie. If you eat 1,000 calories of potatoes or 1,000 calories of tater tots that you air fried, they're still 1,000 calories. If you eat 1,000 calories of McDonald's burger and 1,000 calories of homemade burgers, it's 1,000 calories, okay? It's calories in versus calories out. It's not this food is bad or this food is bad. It's this food has calories and this food has calories, but this food is more filling because it's healthier, it's more whole foods. This food makes me feel like shit, but it tastes really good, you know? So understand, guys, these are the tips that you guys need to be following. If you want to learn, you know, how to do this and make this part of your lifestyle, you got to learn these things. Now, if you want to learn a little bit more about how it can help you lose your next 20, 30, 40, even 50 pounds, you know, you're 30, 40, 50 years old, you want to lose 50 plus pounds, you know, that's what I do. Even if you're working, look, even if you're working 12 to 13 hour days, 5 to 6, 7 days a week, we can make it happen. I have all sorts of clients who are busy. That's what the program is about. That's why I post, you know, content like this to help you guys, you know, be able to lose weight without really sacrificing your life to the gym. Like, the gym's fun and all, but, you know, so is hanging out with your wife and being happy in a better body, you know, feeling more confident and being a better leader for your kids, right? It's not just about going to the gym. That's why I'm trying to teach you guys how to balance family, fitness, you know, your career goals as well, and kind of build a puzzle around it instead of having to, like, overlap everything and get overwhelmed and fall off like you have been. So if you want to learn more about this, or if you want some help, shoot me a message on TikTok. Shoot me a follow. Leave a comment on one of my posts. Yo, I need some help. And I'll actually personally reach out to you, and we'll see how we can help you. So I'll talk to you then.